Clay. Hello. Clay. Yes, Clay. I'm making bells. Making wedding bells. They will be party favors or wedding favors. That's why they're wedding bells. Just really thin on the bottom. Nice. Nice. I try to be nice. Hello, hello. How long will it take in the kiln once they're finished? Well, they'll be fired twice. I actually don't know how long it takes to get fired. I don't have a kiln. I belong to a studio where they fire pieces for me. But I think it's like 24 hours or something like that. I don't know if it's like 24 hours including cool down time. But they've got some steps to go through before we get there. Sabrina says hello. Carl has nothing. Or maybe there's an invisible message. Where did I learn to throw? Awesome question. I took, I think it was 2021. I took a 6-week class at a local pottery studio, and it was an introduction to the wheel. And I promptly moved. I actually moved before the class was even over. And I moved to an area that was not convenient to a pottery studio. So what I did was I bought my own wheel and I practiced by myself for about a year. And then I moved somewhere that has a kiln or a studio again, and so then I started firing my pieces. So I took a six weeks course, and then after that I got my wheel in 2023, so there was a gap there. Thanks. I don't take any donations. No donations, no money. But if you think it's cool, I bet there's a pottery studio near you too. And you could do it too. It's very fun. It's very, very fun. When it gets wobbly. This is Kentucky Mudworks Iceman, not men. It's the first time I've used it. Well, first project I've used it. It's very similar to Laguna B-Mix. It's what I would call a friendly clay. Very thirsty though, definitely sucks the water up. I apologize, y'all. I'm having a bad eye day. I can't read anybody's names right now. Someone said hi with a lot of ones in their name. Why don't I use bats? That's a good question too. Bats are stupid expensive for what they are. They're basically just, you know, a piece of wood or plastic. I do own some bats. I own maybe a total of 8 bats, but I have like a bunch of things to throw. And little stuff like this, I can just take off the wheel. No problem. Like now, plates you need bats for. If it was a super wide bowl, I would definitely use a bat. Because it couldn't, you know, I wouldn't want it to get misshapen. Ooh, when I took it off, but, you know, these are pretty easy to remove. You see, those aren't too bad, so I also try to limit, I don't know. I've done a lot of crafts and gotten into a lot of hobbies in my life, and what I've learned too is sometimes when you start something new, you want all the toys, you know? And so you buy all the toys, but then you realize, oh, you don't really need all those toys. So I try not to buy something, basically. So I have a few bats, enough to do. If I ever want to do a set of plates or something like that, I have enough to do that. But, and it doesn't hurt. It's not hard to take it off, so. Sure, broken! Hey, sure you can. I'm gonna do it every time, man. Anyways, Shuriken's a friend of mine. A YouTube friend of mine. He's got a cool channel. Twilight Zone Ninja. What was the question? How am I otherwise? Oh, good. I'm good otherwise. Kinda. You know. We got rain coming through. Today's the last warm day. Fixing to have a bunch of coldness, so I'm trying to crank these out, finish these up. I got a lot to throw today. And I may try to do some trimming today too, if they dry enough. This is not my career, Marina. This is just for fun. Man, I get clay everywhere. So if I miss a message, I apologize. It's difficult for me to see everything, and anyways. Am I gonna paint these? Yeah, so these are a wedding favor for our wedding, which is coming up. And so the paint plan is doing what's called the bubble technique with some underglaze. So we'll take some underglaze, which is just a type of paint. And I think we're gonna do blue, maybe a couple shades of blue. And then we mix it with a little bit of soap and water, and then we make bubbles, and then we roll the pots in bubbles. And I selected that for these because my husband's going to participate in that, and I don't know, you know, kind of we're both breathing love into the project as it's going to go to our family members. Do I weigh my clay? Yes, I weigh my clay. Sure you can with the emojis. Yeah, you can hear the rain here. After you make the shape, you let it dry some, then you trim off the excess, then you let it dry the rest of the way, then you stick it in the kiln to get cooked, and then we'll decorate them, and then we'll stick them back in the kiln to get cooked again, and then we'll string them up. Hello to Bella, hello to Shoda, and Cheetah. And these are 1 pound balls of Kentucky Mudworks Iceman. Hey, you too, Shuriken. I hope you guys have a wonderful, relaxing weekend and some delicious tea. Maybe some pleasant walks if you have nice enough weather. Curtains up! Curtains up! I am making wedding bells. And these are wedding favors for our wedding. Expensive clay for a hobby. Well, I guess expensive depends on what you do with it. I recycle everything I do. You know, if I don't keep it, it gets recycled. So I don't go through a lot of clay. In fact, the first year, I used the same 75 pounds. I never fired anything. I don't remember how much this was. I only got one bag of it. But I think if I buy it at the studio, they mark it up. It's like 20 something bucks for 25 pounds. Maria says hi. Lots of hearts emojis. Nadia says what's up? But I think they are talking to the chat. Elijah says hi. Regan Farrow says hi. This is not felt centered yet. I'm just gonna call that centered enough. Mm. Remake of the Ghost movie. Everyone likes to bring that one up. I need to rewatch that. I need to get this clay up and off. Hello. Hexaki. Thank you. I'm doing good. Good job. Thank you. I'm doing alright. I am a novice. I'm not a professional. This is all for fun. Fun and relaxation. Spreading kindness. This is going to be a small bell. Can I teach you? I'm not really qualified to teach anyone. I'm self-taught. I'm a novice. I don't know a lot of stuff. I would refer you to people who are doing online classes like Amy the Potter, Simon Leach, those kind of people. Someone asked if I'm real. I don't know, man. Maybe I am real to myself as far as I know. I don't know if I'm real to you. I haven't really figured out this whole reality thing yet. Hey, Psyche's yelling at me. Someone's going to sleep. Where's my sponge? From what country? You're right, Psyche. No apologies necessary. You didn't say anything mean. But I have a hard time keeping up with the chat. Because this is my focus. Oh, what country? United States. Estados Unidos. This is gonna be an itty bitty bell. I don't know what I did with it. But that's okay. Rwanda, that's cool. Carrie likes my headband. Thank you. This thing is old. Old. I got it when I was in college from a thrift store. So I probably got it in 2000, let's say 2003. I got it in 2003. And I got it from a thrift store. So 2003 is what, 23 years ago? So it's probably a good 40 years old. Will you post the video so that we can get how you started? I can just tell you how I got started. I don't really do the YouTube thing to do the YouTube thing. Like, I don't like making videos. I mean, sometimes they're fun, sometimes I do it if I'm just trying to like show something, or if I will make a short every now and then out of these things. But I stream because it's just the easiest way to record and save my work. In pottery, a lot of stuff doesn't ever, doesn't come to be, especially how I do things. So by recording myself, I have a record of all my work, and I can go back and remind myself, even though I don't have pieces around me everywhere, that I have done things and I made things. I also use it as a journal, so I remember what I did, like, oh, how much clay did I use for this project? Because I'm bad about keeping a notebook. I have like a dozen notebooks that are spread out, and I don't know what's in what. Yes, Justin, you hit it. I am 40-ish. Ah, polymer clay. I used to do polymer clay. I still have some. My mom's into it. She makes cool things. How I got started was I found a pottery studio near me, and I took an intro to wheel class. So it was a 6-week class, and it was basically just letting people get the feel of the wheel. And I was like, oh, this is for me. And I moved where the studio was no longer accessible for me, so I bought my own wheel. And that's how I got started. %. A lot of pottery is no-go right from the start. Carrie, it was nice to talk to you. Next is dropping bright pink poop emoji. Do I have a shop of my product? Nope. I do not sell my pottery. I have a business. I have a business with my husband. We make video games. We make games for the Game Boy Advance, as well as physical games like little wooden puzzle games, mind teasers. So if you want to buy something of mine, I should have a link to that in my about, where all our games are. But my pottery is just for me. I want to make the stuff that I want to make, not the stuff that sells. If that makes sense. And if I accept money for my pottery, then I'm going to start thinking about it that way. And I don't want to do that. Am I shaping by feel? Yeah, this whole thing's by feel. That's why I like pottery. It's really hard to think about other stuff when you're doing it. You can't tell by how well I'm answering the questions. I can come out here and think about nothing. It's a meditation. Is terracotta harder to work with? I've only worked with one terracotta clay, and that's Lizella. I really like it. It's different. It's very groggy, which means there's particles in it. It feels kind of like little baby rocks in it. So it's very coarse, but it makes it easier to make larger items. And honestly, when people say something harder or easier, it really just depends on what you're used to. Greetings from Naples. Max, I'm glad you're finding it satisfying. If you enjoy it, there's lots of YouTubers out here doing this stuff. Way more talented than me. So I would encourage you to check out other live streams. Ben Wolf Pottery is a great one. He's a pro. Fresh Cup of Joel. He's a little bit of a newbie like me, but he's doing awesome. That's kind of you to say, Hex. It really isn't. You want to see some real control, you gotta go see a master. Well, I'm glad. And Jamie, are these sculptures you said you did polymer, right? When people ask about how to get started in clay, if they don't have a studio nearby, I like to suggest polymer because it's fun. And it's very accessible. What happens if I get itchy face? I end up with clay on my face. Happens pretty often. That's cool. Jamie, do you post your stuff online? Do you have a YouTube or an Instagram or something? I don't want to do that. Let me just wait to the end. Well, welcome, Robin, for your first time here. For centering, I use more pressure for my palms. Where am I located? I'm located in the United States, in the state of Georgia. fine. That's just fine. With silicone painting. What's that? Thank you, Paul. I'm alright. I'm a novice. I don't want to misrepresent my skill because I think it's not that respectful for those who are truly skilled. Oh, yeah, I've got it slower than I normally, like, go. I mean, I could always go slower. But I like living on the edge. You know, living on the edge. Oh, that is cool, freaking Jamie. Robin, you get it then. I don't think people understand, like, how deep this craft goes. Like, I've hardly even touched glazing because I find it so intimidating. I'm like, I don't have time to learn this. I'm still learning this. You know, and I do this when I have time, when the weather's nice. This clay is so thirsty. I also think it's funny when people think you're insulting yourself by calling yourself a beginner. Like, what's wrong with being a beginner and learning? Yeah, we call it throwing. Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, the only time we really throw anything is in the very, very beginning when you put the clay on the wheel. Did I take lessons? I took a 6-week course. I took a 6-week course. In 2021, I believe, and then I got my wheel in 2023. So there was some gap between. Oh no! Aww. Aww. Yeah. Nope. That's not gonna save. Oh well. Oh crap. Okay. Come on. Cut, 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 cut. Cut, cut, cut. Cut, cut, cut. So, yeah, you can kind of tell where this was like really thin here. But I could also trim more off, so anyways. You win some, you lose some. No apologies necessary. Well, Hex, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for the conversation. Marie, I'm having a hard time reading what you wrote because there's all these extra symbols on it. But I'm making bells. That's what I'm making today, and I have to make them today because it's fixing to be cold, and I don't throw in the cold. Jesus loves me. Hello, I'm doing all right. Can I make a long base? No, I'm making bells today. I have to get these done. They are favors for our wedding, which is coming up soon. No problem, Marie. Sorry I can't do your request. But if you're looking for people who will do those things, Ben Wolf Pottery, Fresh Cup of Joel, these are streamers that would do those things for you. And they sell their products too. Make a star. I'm making bells today. That's all I'm making. Appreciate that. Good night, Mem. Good night. I here every day? I am not here every day. No, I'm only here some days. I've been here the last couple of days because I've got a project going on, but I'm not here when it's cold, which it's going to be cold soon. What is bells? Bells, like they make a sound when you ring them. Looking at the birds. Ronaldo. That's my pick. Do I have any other social media? No. I'm not doing this as a thing. This is just a personal project. I'm not looking for followers. I do the streaming to record my own progress as a journal because I do not take good notes. So by recording everything I do, I have a record and I can just go back and look at it if I need to figure out what I did at some point. And then also to stream. I stream to spread kindness. Kindness and compassion, because our world needs more of that. Hello from India. Yeah, you can ask me questions. I don't guarantee I'll answer all of them. Hello, hello, hola. Hello, hello, hello. How did I start making pots? Well, my mother, as a birthday gift to me, got me lessons at a local pottery studio, and it was a 6-week course, intro to pottery, or intro to the wheel, and I really enjoyed it. But I moved where there was no studio right after I finished my class, so I thought about it for a while, about a year and a half, and then some stuff happened in my life that made me very sad, and I knew it was going to be a rough time for a while, so I said, you know what, I am going to buy myself a wheel so I have an outlet to get through this time. And I did that. These bells are getting smaller and smaller, and I'm just not sure why. But that's okay. That is okay. Is it difficult to make? Yeah. I mean, yes and no. It's difficult to make things come out as you intend. It's not too difficult to get on here and just see what happens. Let the clay take its own shape. That's not too difficult once you get like the hang of the wheel. But to get on here and say, I want to make that shape, that exact shape, that can be hard. And what's even harder, in my opinion, is to say I want something, when you get into glazing, I want something that shape and I want it to be this color with this effect. Did I do it in college? No. I did not do it in college. I didn't do it until I was late 30s. I was 39 when I got my wheel. Am I on Facebook? No. Hello from Uzbekistan. I enjoy hearing from where everyone is. Come on, you. You can come off. Nah, it's not perfect at all. Like, they're getting smaller. There's a huge difference in size. But that's okay. I thought about making a tool. It's pretty easy to make sure these are all uniform. So they were all exactly the same. But then I was like, if they're all exactly the same, they'll sound exactly the same. And I want them to all sound different. I want a variety of sounds. My hands are too wet. Beauty and diversity. Maryland, what's up? Thank you, Ibu, Elbu. I gotta stand and stretch. Give me a sec. Oh. Oh. Do I make bells every live? No, I do not. I've been making bells lately because bells are fun. I make different stuff. This is something I've made before. It's all covered in clay because I pick it up to show people, but if you're familiar with Zelda, Deku Scrubs, they're a character in some of the older games. They would pop out of the ground and have a little plant coming out of their head. So this is a plant pot. So it'll hang on a wall. And it's got a little drainage hole down below. And you plant a plant in it. And then it has a little plant. So I make all sorts of things. What time is it in my country? I have no idea. I have no idea. Maybe if I had to guess. Well, it's multiple times actually. The United States has got what, 4 time zones? 4? Eastern. I think 5 if you count some of the ones that don't do the daylight saving times. It's a good way to get stabbed. What's my favorite thing to make? Plant pots. I like to make homes for plants. My mother really loved plants. She's chilled out on the plants as she's gotten older, but it used to be a thing every year that my sister and I would go and decorate a plant pot for her. So making planters is definitely one of my favorite things to make because it always makes me think of my mother and my sister. And someone could always use a plant pot. And even if the glaze doesn't turn out right, plant pot can still be used. I like making things that will be used, that have a purpose. Should I make new things? I do. I also make, I've made a bird bath. I made a UFO plant pot. I've got plans to make a UFO bird feeder. I've been trying on that one a few times. I'm gonna have to go back to that project. I haven't quite figured it out yet. I also have plans to make a memorial for my dog who passed in October. That one is maybe going to have a lot of hand building, so I don't know if I'm going to stream that. I'll probably also be crying a lot, so no one really wants to see that. We'll see. But I don't have my notebook with me, but I have all my plans for things that I want to make in there. I want to make Christmas ornaments, UFO Christmas ornaments. Oh, I made a lamp. I made a lamp once, which I need to do that again because that lamp isn't that great. I need to make a second attempt at that one. Do I travel? I go on vacations. The vacationing and the traveling has chilled out these last few years. We've had some rough stuff happening in our family that's required me to stay nearby. But I definitely enjoy seeing new places. How do I get my clay? There is a clay studio about 2.5 hours from here. So I drive 2.5 hours to get my clay. Do you really want to go to the United States, Lily? It is a beautiful country. We have some beautiful national parks. After my husband retires, I want to go live on the road for a while. When I met him, he was living in a van. And I would like to do that. Is it fragile? Mm-hmm. Yep. Depending on the stage that it's in, before you fire it, it's very fragile. That's why pottery is a practice in letting go, non-attachment. There's only so much you can do. Psyche, what's up? Welcome back. I hope these sound nice. I didn't really... Probably wasn't the brightest to use a brand new clay. But it's okay. Whatever lotion my mother gave me most recently. I don't really have a brand or anything. A lot of people swear by O'Keeffe's Working Hands. But the clay definitely does dry out your skin. Hands are too wet. And if the clay's too wet, it won't stick to the wheel. And then it'll just fly off. You can definitely ask questions. I don't promise to answer. Just think the Latin letters says hello. Dawn says hello. Am I really 40? I'm actually 41. I'll be 42 in a few months. Anna says hi. I don't know who Jane Birkin is. I don't feel bad at all, man. I don't know why people act like it's terrible to get old, to age. Oh, you don't look your age at all. I want to look my age. I don't want to be 20 again. I personally think this whole obsession with looking young is really more about being afraid to die. Because aging is just walking towards death. Hello, Hector. What's up? How are you? I believe you were here the other day, yeah? If so, welcome back. If not, just plain old welcome. What time is it in your country? I don't know. I lost track. Patrick Swayze came to you in a dream. What did Patrick Swayze tell you in this dream? Did you guys dance? Because if you didn't dance, I'm going to call that a wasted opportunity. This one's wide. This is a wide bow. I'm just going to let it be a wide bell. Right? Yeah, we're going to let it be a wide bell because that's what we're going to do. What did Whoopi Goldberg say? Thanks. I wouldn't say I'm on point today because they are all coming out very, very different, but that's okay. As long as I don't wobble, I did have one with a dent I had to toss, but only had to toss one so far. I'm sure I'm not the only one live right now. I do know a lot of the potters I recommend to go check them out. A lot of them stream during the week because it's their actual job. Let's see. That's a little thick. Well, you said you're gonna watch this all day. If you enjoy watching it, I highly recommend trying it. It's even better doing it yourself. Laser. Play the Righteous Brothers melody. I do have some Righteous Brothers, but I don't have any way to play music out here in the garage. But there is a music venue near me that you can usually hear whenever they're playing live, so there's a possibility it may just happen. How's the dog? Popo's over there chilling in his little bed. Getting old. Like we all are. He's being a really good boy though. I'm really proud of him. I've had people running by in the street and he stayed in his spot. So that's good. Good for him. I'm a Gemini. Do you hear him? His name is Hobo. Hey, it's okay. Hi, hi. This one's wobbly. There's a Hobo AM on YouTube. Adventures, it is a, it's gonna be a bell. This is not the one I want. I want this one. But it does have a slight cup shape, doesn't it? I need to get all this slip back in my bucket. Way off. Heck, I'm not worried if people are watching or not. That's not why I do this. When I first started YouTube, I didn't put any kind of hashtags on my videos because I didn't want anybody to see anything. It was like a personal project, and then I realized you can't keep people from seeing things. So, just try to make sure I was in the right corner of YouTube. Clay is lifelike, has a mind of its own. Asmoron says hi. Doing great, Psyche, no worries. I apologize that English is the only language that I speak. Big Bull Karen says hi? Farish is looking for a partner. Partner in what? Partner in crime, partner in life, partner in business. This one is definitely wobbly. That's okay. Was it 6, 7? You kiddos are so weird. I wish I remembered what the 6, 7 was in my day. heck's 41? What's so special? Is that the new 6'7"? Why 6'7", 6'7", not 67? So many questions. Your mom jokes. Maybe that was our 6'7". We're just gonna call that one done because otherwise it's not gonna happen. Oh, gouge that one on the side. Maybe we'll trim it out. Oh, it's a little heavy one. That's okay. What's not gonna happen? Did I say that? Sometimes words come out of my mouth. Get it even? That is the trick, isn't it? Getting it even. Whatever it was, I missed it. Psyche. Dang it. Oh, I'm not trying to do a channel Psyche. Like, I don't care if I have reach. I don't care if anybody watches. To be honest, I'd probably feel a little bit more comfortable if nobody watched, but you can't control what other people do. miss the days when YouTube didn't pay anybody. It was a lot cooler. How many things do I make in a day? I usually don't make this much. I'm doing this because it's gonna get cold next week and this is a project I need to get done. I have a deadline. But because once it's below 60 degrees, I don't like to be out here throwing. I can trim. But I am a weakling when it comes to the cold. What am I doing? I'm making bells. And it's not an order, it's a gift. These are for my wedding. And our wedding's in like 50 days. So I need to get these done. Thank you. I am not a professional. I do not sell my work. I do not monetize my channel. This is all for fun and relaxation. Psyche, go to bed. It's late. Sleep is important. You can't make up sleep. was nice talking to you too. It doesn't look like a bell yet, no. I mean, bells come in all shapes. All shapes and sizes. But it's not the shape I'm going for yet, no. This is definitely a wobbly bell. But that's okay. Most like something guys woodworking, good to see, without sparks. I have Clay on the phone and I can't read. I don't know what you're saying. If you're comparing me to other people, different strokes for different folks, man. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. If we were all the same, it would be a very boring, boring world. Let's bell out that bottom a little bit more. Sparkles! Sparkles! Call that one a pot or a bell. I'm gonna call it a bell. These are just loving to not want to get off the wall. I think it's great to see people doing what they love. Whenever someone's doing what they love, there's a spark. There is a light. drill. Give me 1 second. Let me see if, I think this one's cleaner. Let me see if I can get my phone. There we go. One more. I wish just one more. I still got a few more to go. Ugh. How many more do I have? 3. 3 more. I'm gonna take a stretch break after this. Okay. Okay. This rag is covered in clay. 3 more, 3 more. I don't think I'm gonna have time to trim any today. Which means I'm gonna be trimming in the cold, which is not cool. Elizabeth Beck says hi. Does spinning remove the air bubbles? No. Pressure removes the air bubbles. So when you see me squeeze everything up to the top, what I'm doing is trying to get the clay all centered, but also kind of squeeze out any air bubbles. I'm not great at wedging, which is the process before this to get out air bubbles, and there's one in here. I just felt it get squished out. I don't like wedging at all. It's not fun. It's very boring. It's a lot of work. There it is. There's my little lumpy lump in there. I don't know, maybe that's just like a lump of clay. Who knows? What the spinning does is help create a round shape. Hello, hello, hello. If you love pottery, Navia, go try it yourself. It's fun. It's really great. It's somehow it's harder than it looks, but also easier than it looks at the same time. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I enjoy it. I could sit here and get not a single thing off this wheel, and I would still love sitting here and forming shapes. Carol, so it's same or different design? They're all different. I mean, the general shape is the same, but they're all slightly different. I thought about making a rib, and this is a rib, all right? So it's a shape that you can use to make a shape. So I could have taken a piece of wood and cut the exact shape of my bell and made them all very uniform. And I decided not to do that because I wanted all the bells to sound different. And the shape of a bell affects the sound. So they're all slightly different. Bali, I apologize. I do not understand your language. hope I don't regret the decision to make them all different. Debbie, am I talented? No. Or skilled? No. I'm very much a novice. I've only been doing this a couple years. And I don't come out here every day. When I first started, I did a lot of like drills and things, like trying to make myself like intentionally get better. And now I just come out here and just kind of have fun. Probably should get back into that though. I'm gonna squeeze this in though. Debbie, I would encourage you to give it a shot if you think it's interesting. How I got started was my mother gifted me a pottery course. It was from a local pottery studio. If there's a local pottery studio in your area, they probably offer courses. Sometimes they have just like a single nights that you can go in there and give it a shot. And then sometimes they have, the one I did was a 6-week course. It's extremely rewarding. Even just trying it's fun. And if you don't like the wheel thing, some people get on here and they're like, it's too much. There's hand building. There's lots of other things you can do. Patrick, yeah, so the clay, when you see different colors of the clay, often that just means it's, yeah, different minerals in the clay. Usually I work with dark clays. I like the color. But this is for a specific project, so I needed white for this. Kiln, that's the word you were looking for. K-I-L-N. That's the ovens where we cook the clay. I do not have a kiln. There is a pottery studio near me, and they have a kiln that they offer, they let people use, or they fire pieces for people that are members or students. Maybe one day I'll have a kiln, but not anytime soon. It's just one more thing to learn. Is it electric or with feet? Oh, this is an electric wheel. It's not a kick wheel. People who do kick wheels, those people are crazy. Not really. Simon Leach uses a kick wheel, I believe. I know he makes them. I tried it once. Nah, not for me. Two more, y'all. Two more. My second to last. Okay, okay, Peter. Have fun. I will have fun. You have fun too, Peter. Claudley says hi. It's me, Rosa. It's me. It's Mario. Infinite Rose wants to know, are you going to paint before or after? I think you call it the fire. Yes. So when I say fire, I mean sticking it in the kiln and cooking it. I think I'm going to do it after the firing. The plan for these is to do a technique that's called bubble glaze. And it's when you mix a glaze. We're going to use an underglaze. And we're going to pick two colors. And mix it with water and soap. And then use a straw and make bubbles. And decorate it that way. So these are bells for my wedding. They're wedding favors to our wedding guests. And my husband's not a potter. He has other creative outlets. So the bubble glaze is a way for him to participate and help decorate. And I also think it's kind of cool that we are going to be, blowing our love into this project. Like with our actual breath. So I like that. How much electricity? I do not, I don't fire my stuff. I don't have a kiln. I use a community kiln. But if you're interested in like the sustainability and the cost of pottery, there is a potter, I think it's called Old Forge Pottery. They have a couple blogs on it where they calculated the carbon cost of all their pieces. Hello from Indonesia. That's cool. I have a friend that's from Indonesia. She's from Sumatra. Infinite. I took it as a compliment. You know what the trick with people is? If you just take everything in the best possible way, then you don't get upset by things. You know, like, I don't know. So yeah, I took it as when you said special, you meant special and cool. Yeah, I hope it is. This one's gonna be a big one. A lot of these came out really short today. I'm gonna have bells of all sizes. Hello, hello. Okay, Mom, thanks. New Jersey, hello. I'm assuming that's what NJ is. No? Not New Jersey? New Jersey's too expensive? Where isn't too expensive these days? I really like this one. Oh, that's why. Oh, what's that sound? What's this? Three times? Jeez. Yeah, we just had a vote. Thankfully, Georgia did. And they were going to get some data centers and have us pick up all the cost. Like, what kind of crap is that? Dude, if anybody should be paying their way, it's freaking businesses, man. Well, actually, we had a vote. It wasn't for that actual like measure. It was a vote for the people who made those decisions, and so the people who were planning on making that decision got voted out. Thank you, Infinite. I was pretty proud of that one too. I liked how round it was. Yeah, life is expensive in the States these days. Debbie, I think a lot of Americans don't understand how much better other countries have it in a lot of ways than we do. Healthcare. I mean, I know no country has like the best system, but I'll tell you what we got right now is definitely not working. I don't even have health insurance. I stopped paying for it because I was like, I'm paying for something that doesn't pay for anything. You know, I pay $400 a month and then they wouldn't cover anything, even stuff that was supposed to be covered. Like stuff that was supposed to be covered by law, and this is what the insurance had too. They were like, oh, well, you have to contest. You have to fill out this form and mail it in. And on top of that, and it had to be done within so many days, which that means that the doctor's office had to bill you within so many days, which that doesn't always happen because they're fighting with the insurance. And then they buried the form. They didn't even have it on their website. It was just all a big just a big old crock of pooey. And so a lot of doctor's offices these days, they have out-of-pocket rates. And then by having insurance, and then the insurance wouldn't cover it, then I'd end up having to pay insurance rates because they charge insurance companies more than they charge people, which doesn't make any sense. That just shows you how crooked everything is. So, anywho, I just pay everything out of pocket. And fingers crossed, nothing bad happens. That's hilarious that you think this is exciting. Yes, 100%. I was in Thailand for a bit. I had great healthcare there as an American. Australia, I saw a doctor once in Australia. That was still cheaper than here. Debbie, I hope it changes for us too. I definitely hope. I feel that we are near a breaking point. But until I think Americans start really thinking about where we spend our money, I think that's the only way we're really going to make any changes. Because that's the only thing that people listen to, the people in charge. So I just started being really conscious about who gets my money for different things. I don't give money to Amazon anymore. If I can avoid it. It's almost impossible to avoid, but I try to go without. You know, ask myself, do I really need this thing? Or if it's just a want, try not to get it. Because that is the only thing I mean, I vote, I email and call my politicians, but no protest. But none of that, I mean, I think a lot of that's just... Anyways, we should talk about happy things. Oh no, it's not that they don't understand, they just don't care. We are the peons. And it's funny, like, when people are like against billionaire taxes, they're like, what, do you think you're gonna become a billionaire? No, you're not. It's a pipe dream. Everything is stacked against us. There should not be billionaires. I firmly believe that. I mean, and I think anyone who is a billionaire, something's wrong with them. They are not right in the head. Because I'll tell you what, I've never been rich, but I've always had a desire to give what I have to people who need it. You know? I couldn't imagine having like that much money and not giving it away. Honestly, like, what do you need it for? They literally have more money than they can spend. And they're doing things like having hundreds of $1 million, like what was Bezos' wedding, like 700 million or something crazy like that? That's nuts. Polio chicken? What? Anyways, I don't want to be all negative Nancy. I am here to spread kindness and compassion. Be kind towards other people. It's one of the few things we can do as well. What am I making? I am... Thanks, Nancel. Nance. David, you guys are nice people. Hello from Indonesia. I am making bells. Bells for our wedding. They are wedding favors. We have a small wedding. I've made way more than I need, but some of these will be reclaimed. We're just inviting immediate family. Some of them will be sent to people who I wish were there, but because we decided to keep it small, they're not. They won't be there. So I'll be making some from them. I think our guests will have a total of 16. Oh, that's including us, I believe. Kindness is lovely. Kindness and compassion is true beauty, man. You know, I believe that's when human will be in a better place, when someone says, man, that is a kind person. Those are the compliments we give out. You are a kind person. We're gonna use this. Have never been married? Have never been married. I've never been married. This will be my first marriage. And I am 41 years of age. Ooh, double dry there. When is the wedding? In like 50 some odd days. I was looking forward to being a spinster, but when I met my husband, things changed. David, that's the way to be. Honestly, that's what people like. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm never gonna find somebody, da 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 da. And I'm like, dude, just make yourself happy. Like, that is the most important thing. I think we put too much self-worth on outside things we can't control. And being alone is a hell of a lot better than being with the wrong person. I joke when I met my husband, my exact, like the first time I saw him, like in person, my exact words were, I'm effed. Well, those weren't the exact words, but that's the gist. I saw my life flash before my eyes. I was like, crap. There goes everything I thought I was gonna do. But it was good. be honest, I didn't know it was possible to have a relationship, a loving relationship. I hadn't seen too many in real life. And we are two separate beings, just on a ride together. We don't try to save each other. We support each other. The number one thing is we're kind to each other. And what I've found is we make each other better people. It is a lot of work, though. Relationships are a lot of work. "76, happily married to your love. Congratulations." Yeah, once you got your space, like that's the trick. You don't, like, I really didn't, I was like, "Oh, why did I do this?" You know, I had found this real peace. But now I found a new peace. It was funny. When I met him, he was living in a van, and I hadn't dated since my last relationship had failed, and been years since I dated. And I was like, I've started dating because my sister was trying to set me up with people, and I was like, all right, at least if I'm going on dates, maybe she'll leave me alone, and she won't do this anymore. And the first date I went on was him. And that was about 9 years ago. And one of the things I liked about him was that he lived in a van, because I was like, if it doesn't work out, he'll just drive on off. Happy birthday, Mark. And that is not how it went. And it was so funny. My sister was like, what are you doing dating a guy in a van? That's not what I wanted. That's not what I meant to do. But now my family loves him. I joke, he can do no wrong in the eyes of my family. It's always, what does Sean think? What does Sean think? And since I've met him, man, time has sped up. Like, it's like literally just flying. And I think, Nancy, said that you were you guys are having a weird conversation amongst yourselves. Be kind to people. This one's a little weird one. It's got a big old wide lip. That's what this bell looks like. We're gonna call it. Wishing you luck too, Dave. Dave. Show him how it is to live a happy, full life. You don't need what everybody else has. Everybody has a different path in their life. And there's definitely things that you can only accomplish by yourself. But this one's a little weird. So, I'm not lifting that up. Normally I show everything I've thrown, but I'm not doing that because there's a lot down there. Well, y'all, I'm done. I got no more. I made everything. Man, but that's the whole thing. You said you made a crooked picture. Like all the little, I don't know, that's what makes things cool. Like perfection is boring. It's like I don't know. What's called imperfections is really just character. And pictures are hard. I haven't made one yet. I'm scared of doing the lips, the rims, the little spout. I have a book that'll teach you to do it, and I started working on it, and then I got distracted with life. I need to get back at it. Mutual respect, 100%. Yeah, it's also funny, too, like, I don't know. It's really hard. It's always sad when you see people in a relationship where, you know, one's not getting respected. But people are looking for different things in their life. Maybe that person's being provided with something else that they needed. Who am I to judge? I am nobody. Man, the slip is very slippy. Well, everyone have a wonderful, wonderful day. My next steps with this project are going to be trimming. I'll pick the camera up and show y'all. Oof. Come on, look at this thing. Okay. Switch it around. So this is what I threw today. They're all different sizes and heights. Debbie, wishing you the best too. And then you can see that that first one I did is huge, and then the rest are much smaller. And then these are all the ones I did the other couple of days. I set these out hoping that they would be dry enough to trim, but they're not there yet. So now I've got to wrap all these up so they don't get too dry overnight. Aw, Patrick, that's really kind. Nance, enjoy your beautiful husband with dinner. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Thanks, David. Aw, wishing you the best too, dude.